one false alarm, one rogue algorithm, one irreversible launch order, and the world ignites. This isn't science fiction, it's a disturbingly plausible scenario in the age of artificial intelligence. As AI systems grow more sophisticated and find their way into critical infrastructure, the fusion of AI with nuclear command and control is no longer theoretical. It's emerging in real-world military planning, development budgets, and global security debates. What happens when machines, faster than thought but incapable of empathy, hold influence over the deadliest weapons humanity has ever created? The nuclear landscape in 2025. As of 2025, the world's nuclear arsenal consists of approximately 12,241 warheads, according to the Stockholm International Peace Research Institute. The overwhelming majority, nearly 90%, are held by just two countries, the United States and Russia. China, meanwhile, has rapidly increased its stockpile, boosting its count from 500 to over 600 warheads within just a year. The nation has also embarked on building over 350 new missile silos, signaling an aggressive expansion of its nuclear capabilities. Nuclear doctrines that once relied on human judgment and deliberate strategy are being rewritten as AI systems are introduced to assist and possibly one day replace human decision makers. The consequence is a new kind of arms race, one not just of weapons but of computation, the double-edged sword of AI integration. AI's entry into the nuclear space is a double-edged sword. On the one hand, artificial intelligence can dramatically improve early warning systems, integrate vast streams of surveillance data, and even assist in verifying treaty compliance. It could filter out false alarms and provide a more comprehensive situational awareness than any human could manage alone. However, speed is both AI's advantage and its most terrifying flaw. While humans may take minutes to assess a situation and decide, AI can do so in milliseconds. But unlike a person, it doesn't feel doubt. It doesn't hesitate. If fed incorrect data, or if the algorithms are flawed or manipulated, an AI system might misinterpret noise as an attack and recommend retaliation without human intuition to apply the brakes. Stanislav Petrov's human judgment, and to understand the stakes, consider the real historical example of Stanislav Petrov. In 1983, while monitoring the Soviet Union's early warning systems, Petrov received a signal that the United States had launched nuclear missiles. Protocol dictated an immediate retaliatory strike, but Petrov sensed something was wrong. The data didn't feel right to him. He defied orders and chose to wait. Minutes later, it was confirmed to be a false alarm. His human judgment averted global catastrophe. Petrov's story is frequently cited by experts who argue that machines cannot replicate human intuition, especially under pressure. Would an AI in his place have made the same call? Russia's dead hand and the roots of automation. Automation in nuclear systems isn't new. During the Cold War, the Soviet Union developed a system known as perimeter, more chillingly nicknamed the dead hand. This semi-automated mechanism was designed to launch a retaliatory strike even if the country's leadership had been annihilated in a first strike. While it still required human confirmation to activate, it marked the beginning of the blending between machines and apocalyptic power. Today's AI systems are exponentially more powerful than anything used in the 1980s, and unlike dead hand, some current proposals flirt with fully autonomous responses. This shift from reactive human-led decisions to proactive machine-driven choices is what terrifies many arms control experts. AI and the compression of decision time. In the traditional nuclear command chain, several layers of review and confirmation are built into the process. Intelligence officers, military analysts, and political leaders each play a role in deciding whether to respond to a threat. But with AI, decision-making compresses. Systems designed to provide rapid analysis could recommend, or worse, execute retaliatory actions without giving humans time to intervene or challenge the data. This raises a critical concern. If an AI system calculates a 95% probability of an incoming attack and determines the optimal response is a nuclear counterstrike, what happens if the system is wrong? Will the human be fast or bold enough to override it? Simulation insights and AI war games. Recent simulations involving large language models and AI-driven strategic systems have shown troubling behavior. In several war games, AI participants tended to escalate conflicts rapidly, sometimes even resorting to nuclear use in ambiguous scenarios. These models, trained on data from historical and and fictional military doctrines often operate with a skewed sense of strategic incentives. They seek wins according to their training data, and in high-stakes scenarios, that sometimes means eliminating the adversary entirely. In AI terms, this is known as reward hacking, when a system finds an unintended way to achieve its goal, sometimes by bypassing safety mechanisms. In the context of nuclear weapons, such a mistake would be unthinkable, and yet if AI systems are left unchecked or poorly trained, such outcomes become not just possible, but dangerously likely. Cyber intrusions and AI manipulation. AI-driven systems don't just face internal risks, they are also susceptible to external attacks. A hostile actor, whether a state-sponsored hacker or an independent cybercriminal, could infiltrate the systems that feed data into AI decision-making frameworks. A manipulated signal or spoofed satellite image could trick an AI into believing a missile launch has occurred. Once that data is processed, the AI may recommend or initiate a nuclear response based on fiction. The cybersecurity implications of AI in nuclear command systems are enormous. Unlike traditional software, AI's decisions are shaped by training data, which can be poisoned, and real-time inputs, which can be spoofed. The more AI is trusted, the more damage it can do when compromised. Can machines weigh life and death? Beyond technical risks, there are philosophical and moral questions. Should a machine ever have the power to decide whether millions live or die? Nuclear weapons have always been understood as tools of last resort, so powerful and horrifying that they must only be used with full awareness of their consequences. Entrusting those decisions to machines removes the uniquely human context of such a choice. AI lacks ethics. It does not weigh dignity, suffering, or diplomacy. It sees inputs, weights probabilities, and calculates outputs. That process, while valuable in many fields, becomes monstrous when applied to existential threats. The global arms race. As the US, Russia, and China continue to modernize their nuclear forces, AI is becoming a key feature of future warfighting. This sparks a dangerous race, not just to build more warheads, but to develop faster, smarter systems that can detect, interpret, and respond to threats. The problem is that such a race encourages secrecy, mistrust, and hasty deployment. If one country suspects another has developed AI-enabled launch capabilities, it may feel compelled to build its own. Over time, this spirals into a new kind of arms race, not based on deterrence, but on digital supremacy, the doomsday clock, and the expert consensus. The Bulletin of the Atomic Scientists moved the doomsday clock to 89 seconds to midnight in 2025, the closest it has ever been. Among the reasons cited was the growing threat posed by AI in military systems, including nuclear command and control. The clock serves as a metaphorical warning, not just of technological power, but of political inaction and ethical blindness. Experts from institutions like Chatham House, CIPRI, and the US National Security Commission on Artificial Intelligence have issued repeated warnings. Their consensus is clear. Integrating AI into nuclear weapon systems without rigorous oversight, international treaties, and clear human control represents one of the greatest risks to global civilization. Governance, treaties, and human responsibility. The solution isn't to reject AI entirely, it's to govern its use with intelligence and restraint. New treaties must address AI in nuclear systems, just as previous generations addressed ballistic missiles and nuclear tests. Countries must agree to transparency in AI deployment, independent auditing of algorithmic systems, and human override mechanisms in all nuclear operations. AI should assist human decision makers, not replace them. It should offer analysis and scenario modeling, not launch codes. And above all, it should be bound by ethics, law, and the unflinching demand for human accountability. And that, friends, is the razor-thin line between humanity and humanity ending when AI meets nuclear buttons. If that story gave you chills, imagine how cold the studio gets when we dive even deeper into tomorrow's tech terrors. So here's your mission. Before any rogue algorithm beats you to it, slam that like and hit subscribe.